15th January 2023, a passenger plane flown by Yeti Airlines traveling from Kathmandu to Pokhara stalled and crashed while landing. The disaster killed all 72 people on board upon impact, making it one of the worst air disasters in Nepal's history. A year and a half later, on the morning of 24 July 2024, at least 18 people were killed in a tragic plane crash of an aircraft of Saurya Airlines in Kathmandu. The plane crashed during takeoff at the Tribhuvan International Airport. As per officials, the plane was carrying 2 crew members and 17 technicians to Pokhara city to repair another aircraft. Since 1946, Nepal has witnessed 68 aviation incidents, taking the lives of over 900 people. In the last 12 years, there have been 13 air disasters, averaging at one disaster every year. From poor maintenance of airports to difficult terrains, what are the reasons behind such a high number of crashes in Nepal?
Nepal, unfortunately, has been in the thick of these accidents for quite a while now. One is it's an inhospitable terrain and you need extreme expertise to be flying there. And they have been doing it for a significantly long period of time. And it's a challenge even for a normal day to fly into Kathmandu.
One is that a lot of crashes have taken place not in Kathmandu but in smaller airports. Now, these airports in Nepal are dangerous airports. Some of them are tabletop airports, and the weather is also a big spoiler in the game because these aircrafts go into a particular valley or difficult terrain, and then they are not able to land.
Kathmandu is the easiest airport in Nepal. The rest of them are better than the other as far as offering a challenge to aviators is concerned. So the general terrain where the airports are located in Nepal are all within valleys and mountainous regions, and some of them are tabletops, which add to the challenge. So it's not just Kathmandu. Kathmandu seems to be the more liberal to an aviator while operating out. Weather in Kathmandu also can deteriorate in a very short period of time, and that leads to the other set of challenges as well. On a normal day, everything seems to be okay, but in that region in general, the weather combined with the terrain offers extreme challenges in certain cases, and the deterioration in weather happens at a very rapid pace, and that could catch people unawares unless you're very, very familiar with the terrain.
The weather is a great spoiler. The location of the airport matters because if these are tabletop airports or they are in difficult valleys and terrains and the weather goes bad or even otherwise, there is a problem of landing in these airfields. Now, I'll give you an example of, say, take Port Blair, which has now been extended, but I'm talking about old days when Port Blair was about 5,000 feet, and there was only a unilateral landing with a hill facing the landing. So you land only from one side and you take off from the same side. The only senior commanders were permitted by the Indian DGCA to take the aircraft to Port Blair because they considered it difficult. Other thing they talk about in Nepal is poor quality of maintenance. Now that is something which we have only heard. We cannot vouch for it because the maintenance in Nepal of Nepalese Airlines is done under their DGCA regulations. We know earlier when the hijack took place that the security was very weak in Nepal, and that is how the Indian Airlines plane was hijacked somewhere around 2000. So the issue is that if you don't have a robust aviation system, which include the Director General Civil Aviation plus security setup plus maintenance system, then you can always find that these add on to it. These things make the whole aviation system there weak.
Unfortunately, Given the circumstances, yes, the Nepalese have not really done justice to the civil aviation part of it. And unfortunately, there have been, like you said, at least one accident a year, and it's become a regular feature. Hopefully, things would get better, and with each incident, there is a lot of learning and there is a lot of training augmentation that is done so as to make it as safe as possible.
I think is that government of Nepal needs to pull up its aviation system, improve the quality of maintenance, improve the quality of the Director General Civil Aviation, the air traffic management, and these are the things which make all the difference.
Specialized recurrent training. Sometimes with experience, we tend to be lax on the recurrent training, and recurrent training not just as specified by the manufacturer, it should be as specified by the regulator, taking into account the conditions in which you are operating, the weather conditions, the terrain, and multiple emergencies that could happen should be practiced over and over again until you are very, very proficient with the operations, and only then be allowed to operate.
It's simple. One is that they have to. They are not considered a very great place for maintenance of aircraft, so they have to improve their maintenance system. Two, they have to ensure that their airfields, especially in remote areas, especially which are dangerous, especially in tabletop airports, have the best landing equipment, meaning the radars and the other equipment which are put there are working and in good quality. And third, of course, that the pilot training needs greater improvement.